Ladies and gentlemen, and in-betweens. I don't know. There's no smooth way to do that. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary persons. That actually sounds... Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary persons, welcome to the Mario block. I hope at least some of you are looking forward to this, because Lord knows I am. Little bit of dread. Not gonna lie, a little bit of dread. A lot of looking forward to. I want you to first sit with me, look at a list here. I want to say thank yous and shout outs to Mr. Red, Shadow Machine, Ciela, Doom Rider, Michelle Kathleen Hudson, Parsieska, Biodegradable, Hand Sanitizer, Good Bar, The Good Senator, Tar Hunters, Progst, Hediori, Sacred King, Smoothie Life, Third, Lateralis, Diesel Edge, Command and Conquer 2, Asdalen, Nami, The One-Winged Angel, Typhal, Hieronymus Flex, the person who put this game on the list, Eclectic Oak, and the people who are our majority shareholders, Tizara, Hazardous Materials, Nerd Factor, Rascor, Lore Reloaded, and Terwax1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all of you for keeping the doors on, for supporting me, allowing me to do what I love and enjoy. So, I want you to do me a favor, okay? I want you to jump back to 2004, okay? It's 2004. The world is a better place. No, it isn't. Don't listen to the hype. But it's 2004. Dragon Quest VIII has come out and has pretty much reawakened the West to the Dragon Quest series. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has absolutely stomped all over any other open-world game. Half-Life 2 was finally released, and to massive acclaim. Halo 2 was released, and everybody hated the last 5 seconds of the game. Metal Gear Solid 3, the best Metal Gear Solid game, came out. All of these are great games, and all these are worth of note. Oh, yeah, and also, freaking WoW came out. I was in a wheelchair this year. But here's the big one for our immediate relevance. Because one of the other things that happened in 2004 was the Nintendo DS came out. And for those of you who don't know what the DS is, I should have physically gotten mine. I even meant to. I'm sorry. The reason I'm late is I decided to go ahead and lay down and close my eyes for a bit because I was just exhausted after the first shift. I apologize for the indulgence. But I'm not 100% sure where my DS is. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to be a prop anyways. The DS comes out. The Nintendo DS. You may or may not know what the Nintendo DS is because it's the second best-selling console of all time still. The Switch has certainly been pushing for that number 3 slot. But no, yeah, the DS is still number 2. It's way up there, as it should be. I could actually do a whole discussion just on the nature of handheld consoles and why it is I feel, and the history and the knowledge of why handhelds took off so hard. Yeah, nothing's going to surpass number 1. The PS2 was such a unique confluence of so many different factors. Nothing's ever going to pass the PS2. Until I, of course, come out with my own console and just nail it. But the DS was the number 2 slot. Because handhelds, the kind of video games you could play in your hand, on the fly, on the run, were always big. You ever played the original Game Boy? Like physically, actually, I don't mean like on an emulator or on like, you know, the Switch or something else like that on your Steam Deck. I mean physically held a Game Boy and played it on the go. The Game Boy kind of sucked. I get a lot of negative flack for that, but that's okay because what it really was it was a wonderful first step. It ate batteries like no tomorrow, and it had no backlight at all, unless you got a little accessory for it. So you had to hold it up to the light at an angle, too. You had to hold it at the right angle, because if it was the wrong angle, you just couldn't see anything. But there were good games on the Game Boy, and they got even better as the Game Boy came out. And most importantly of all, you could play it on the go. The sheer fact that you could play video games on the fly, on the run, without being attached to a TV, was a game changer. Everybody tried to emulate, mimic, and failed at trying to follow through on the Game Boy. The Game Boy was then followed, of course, by the Game Boy Advance, And, well, actually, no, it was then the Game Boy Color, which was basically just a better Game Boy. And then there was the Game Boy Advance. And then there was the Game Boy SP. And then, finally, we reached the DS in 2004. I ran you through that real quick thing there because I wanted you to understand that the DS didn't come out of nowhere. The market already existed and was already hungry for good handheld support. And Nintendo was killing it. Absolutely destroying the competition, arguably still to this very day, with regards to the handheld market. And it makes sense. A lot of people wanted to be able to play games without being glued to their TV. It is one of the biggest reasons why this is actually the best-selling console of all time, if you get into technicalities. So, the handheld was like, hey, play games, real games, cool, awesome, fun. And Nintendo did something very, very smart with their handhelds. And they never stopped doing that. They've always 100% thrown a huge amount of R&D, time, and development, and willingness to back off of ideas into the handheld market. It's pretty much the reason the Switch is the way it is. And so each handheld really is just a better version of the previous one. And the fact that they all had reverse compatibility, even better. Because remember, GBA games, that is to say Game Boy Advance games, were still coming out in 2004. But it's okay, because you could play them on your DS. And so you get your DS, and you have your whole GBA library, and all the new DS ones. And that really was kind of a game changer. That level of backwards compatibility. The GBA had it too, I should probably mention. But that level of backwards compatibility was just a game changer. So, you have that. You have, this is now the mid-aughts. Video games have pretty much officially taken off at this point. We're past that point. And so you add in one other little factor on top of all of this. The core Nintendo development team, which is usually referred to as Nintendo EAD, were shopping around ideas with regards to their core titles. And Sunshine had already come out and just smashed everything in the face. But if you remember, and we talked about this when we reviewed Mario Sunshine was still kind of a rough and troubled production line. And in fact, that led to several changes behind the scenes. And one of the most common consequences was a lot of people in the development team, in EAD, were all like, I wish we could do it better. And that's an easy thing to understand. It's a dangerous thought if you let it go too far. But it's easy to understand for any creative type. Have you ever written something? Drawn something, made a song, made a program, done a project for school or work or just for your own fun. And sometime down the line, you look back at it and you're like, man, I wish I could have done better than that. Or maybe you've learned more since then and you're like, oh, God, why didn't I do such and such with that? And there's just that desire to go back and redo it. This is easy to understand if you've ever heard of Star Wars and the Special Edition. Zlartek one, Sean. So it's a very easy to understand mentality. It is a very dangerous one because it's very easy for it to go too far. But I do argue, personally, that it is okay, within reason, to have that urge. And a lot of Nintendo EAD had learned so much with Mario Sunshine and in the intervening years since 64. At this point, it had been almost a decade, I think. Actually, hang on, let me double check that something really quick here. Let me double check some timings here. Okay, it wasn't quite a decade, but it had been about 8 years since Mario 64 had come out. They had learned a lot of lessons and moved forward a lot. And we have one final piece of this puzzle. That is Innocence. Thank you very, very much for the sub, Innocence. As always, if you give me a second here. I'll write that down for Wargroove, Star Trek Infinite, and Factorio. Much appreciate. Thank you. Yeah, about 8 years. It depends on how you define it, and of course development cycles are a thing, but point being, they're about 8 years apart. You're fine, Innocence. So, the third element here, we've got the DS, which is critical success number one. We've got developers who want to go back and redo their previous works, and the final element here is a little game called Pokemon Fire Red / Leaf Green. Now, Fire Red, for those of you not aware of that, Fire Red and Leaf Green is a proper remake, a term that arguably didn't even exist before it, because video game remakes weren't really a thing back then. You can and should argue that remakes are a bit of a plague on the gaming industry right now, especially if you happen to be a fan of The Last of Us. Let me throw some shade on that. But there's nothing wrong, really, with a good, proper remake. And yeah, the Gen 3 Pokemon games took Gen 1 and just ran with it. The definition of a proper remake is let's walk this out here in case you ever aren't aware of this. So there's a port, which is obvious. You take an older game and you make it playable in modern systems. Boom. That's it. Just make it playable. GOG does that a lot, for example. Preferably not Elizar, but yes is the answer to your question. Ocarina 3D is, well, then you have your remasters. Remasters are usually taking the game and make it playable on a new system, but with a few additional bells and whistles, usually minor cosmetic changes, bug fixes or control fixes, or most importantly, graphics. Graphics are almost always the things that people will touch up when it comes to a remaster. We played one just a couple weeks ago, StarCraft Remastered, and that is a remastered game. And it did have a few additional quality of life features that got some notification. But yeah, that's Ocarina 3D, exactly. That's more common. But a remake is much less common because a remake takes the original and runs with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be different, but at the same time it usually is. A remake doesn't just say, here's the same game again. A remake takes a look at all of the intervening stuff that's happened since then and says, let's go ahead and make a new game based on the previous game. And that's the Gen 3 remakes of Gen 1 for Pokemon. Now, as Ross pointed out, that can be good or bad, as anybody who's a fan of the Lufia series can tell you. But the Gen 3 remakes nailed it. I would honestly argue, and I'm probably wrong about this, but playing through Fire Red was I can't even explain it. It was weird enjoying a Pokemon game that much, because up until then, I was just kind of like, okay, sure. And it was just kind of a neat little fun thing to do on the side. But it wasn't really something I got into, not until that particular edition. And I was just like, oh my God, this is actually fun. And they added so many additional quality of life features and shortcuts, and they smoothed out the leveling curve, and you get it, right? It's crazy. It's crazy all the stuff they did to improve it, and a lot of those lessons were learned going forwards, and we still see evidence of that to this very day. I actually have never played Pokemon Emerald and Spartan. So that was a big deal, and most importantly of all, it sold well. And I know what you're thinking. Jeez, here he goes with the money talk. But it is important to note because it was executives. Let me say that word more clearly. Money people. If you've never heard me use that phrase, the money people refer to the people at a company who actually make the decisions. They're the ones who actually decide what a company does. Creative types usually are not the money people. Who the money people are varies from company to company. Sometimes it's members of the board. Sometimes it's particularly influential shareholders. Sometimes it's the only person who actually bothers to show for the meetings. Sometimes it's a CEO. Sometimes it's a CFO. Sometimes it's a COO, etc., etc. Hence the generic term, money people. Money people don't care about anything other than whether or not something sells, generally speaking. But they're the ones who decide whether or not you get to make something or not. And the money people at Nintendo saw Fire Red and Leaf Green and said, oh, wow, that sold bonkers well. And so they started being a little bit more accepting of certain types of projects. Now, I should mention, the game we're about to play was already in development prior to that. But that's why I say it's the third, least important, but still third element of what happened going into this game. Because this game actually had a lot of support behind the hood. I'm going to kind of do something unusual and not summarize the behind the scenes, because pretty much every major developer involved with Nintendo, with Mario 64, had at least one hand in the remake we were about to play. They threw themselves into this. They even pushed it back in terms of development several times. You know how serious they were about this? This is going to sound strange, but hear me out for a second. It released in the States first. And if you don't understand how unusual that is for a Nintendo game, think about it for a minute. Now, this game, of course, sold extremely well. This is one of the best-selling DS games of all time, and is, like, in, I think, like, the top 100 range of best-selling games of all time. Yet nowadays, simultaneous releases have become the norm. Back then, releasing in Japan first, and using that as literally a beta test to release in the States was pretty normal. We actually have seen this for several of the games we already covered, including the aforementioned Ocarina of Time. And Mario 64, by the way. But here, we're going to go and release it here, and this is a remake. Now, whether it's a proper remake or not, we're going to have to decide as we go. But that does run into one of the only problems this game ever has. One of the only negative things I have to say before we actually jump into it. And that is, how many of you knew this was a remake before I told you it was? No judgment, by the way. Because if there's one thing Nintendo tends to fail at, especially at this period in history, it's marketing. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm in such a good mood. I have grabbed one of my... This is actually our second to last seltzer water. And I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it for this day. Miyamoto was involved, but he was not the director. In fact, the last game Miyamoto ever directed was Super Mario 64 2, which, if you're paying attention, never came out. Several people like the N64 version better. I am not one of those people. I'm just going to be very honest about that. Seltzer water in like a week. I haven't had time to go to the grocery store myself, and my brother-in-law hasn't had time to go to the grocery store either, so yeah. But you're probably wondering, what could possibly make this game better than the N64 version?
Me, Mario.
Does everything answer that question? So we can, there's not really much of change in the way the options. It's a DS game. The versus mode is stupid. Let's get that out of the way. In fact, it's probably one of the only major negatives we're going to give to the system.
Mario.
But unlike the N64 version, they do this little sketch thing, and instead of being able to warp and distort the 3D model, you can grab and warp. I guess you can't really see this, I just realized. This is one of the only times the bottom screen is actually going to matter. Give me 1 second. But you can kind of warp and distort this. And just play it and have fun with it. You can also change which one you see down here. This is admittedly a little bit more brilliant than it has any right to be. But hang on. The part that really threw several people is this. And then you can just warp and distort whatever the heck you actually did. I should probably mention this was one of the launch titles of the DS. And the touchpad is the same problem that everything has when it comes to new tech at Nintendo. Sometimes they use it to good effect. Mostly they don't. To be just completely blunt about that. There's weird stuff like this with it. But yeah, it was behold the touchpad, and they were just like, oh my god, behold the touchpad. Ooh. Yeah. We'll actually talk about the touchpad later when we get to the Zelda block, believe it or not, because that's going to come up there as well. I will say I have seen games which use the touchpad well and the games that don't. In this game, it's mostly a gimmick, probably because it was brand new at this point in time. But let me go ahead and put this way back up in the corner. Let's start the game, shall we? Yeah, it's pretty much pure gimmick stuff, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I've baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Fun side fact, they actually brought back the original actress for Peach for that. By this point in time, historically, they had moved on to a new actress for her. They brought her back just for this. Now, I know you probably haven't played Mario 64 recently, but just trust me when I say that this game is superior in terms of how it utilizes its graphics, which is funny because the DS is literally inferior to the N64. But again, this is 8 years of technological progress. So this is the exact moment that people realize it's not just Mario 64. Or at least that's when I realized it.
Let's go.
Seriously, when I plopped my game in, I was expecting this, just like all the rest of you, to just be a port of Mario 64. And then this happens, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, well, I guess Wario and Luigi are in this. Oh, and there's Yoshi up in the thing. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the triple jump to get up there. And then, this happens. Yoshi, Yoshi. Listen. Mario hasn't returned yet. And, so we start off as Yoshi. And I remember sitting there and with my DS, I even remember where I was at the time, just kind of being bonkered by the fact that I was playing as Yoshi. I know that sounds like such a minor thing, but you should probably notice that, well, the very idea of what we call a remake, what I call a remake, wasn't really that commonplace back then. So I was actually excited at the idea of new content and new stuff to do. And I will show you as much of that as I can in this particular playthrough. Can't even go in the front door. Oh, looks like the doors are locked, huh? Well, I saw a rabbit taking off with a key in his mouth. Why don't you look at the touchscreen for where he is? Okay. Now, you probably can't see it down there, but the touchscreen is functionally a mini-map. And it's actually not exactly a bad touchscreen. So just a call. No, don't eat me! All I did was to tease you a little. Come on, let me go, please. Oh, this is the end for little old me. Life flashed before my eyes. Talk about scary. Ugh. Anyway, here, take the key. It was just slowing me down anyway. You retrieved the key. Mario and his buddies went to the castle ages ago. They still haven't returned. Yes, let's save. And get a save state in just in case. It's probably hard to explain, but you could probably tell if you're really familiar with the game. Even the physics engine is different in this version. So the way you move, the way that momentum works, the way that jumps work, the way that collision works, all of that has changed. Now, there is one thing that some people list, and everybody always lists this as the one thing that makes this version worse than the N64 version. And that is the fact that you have to control on a D-pad, which I'm doing right now. I wouldn't blame you for not noticing it, because as you can tell, you're not actually limited to octodirectional movement. However, not everyone is with that. I don't really know what the problem is. I'm going to be completely honest with you. People insist that this game controls worse than the original. I roll to disbelieve. I'll talk more about that later, though, because it's actually going to keep coming up. Yeah, I'm not using the analog stick either. In fact, this is me using the analog stick right here. As you can tell, nothing's happening. This is all D-pad right here. Sure, Innocence. Whatever you say. Also notice new textures for the paintings. Much higher resolution. Much better painted. So, chasing Mario led you into the middle of a battlefield? Where's Mario? Let's talk to the Bob-omb Bunny first. He'll help you out. Watch out. You there, watch out. Wander around, you might get plastered by a water bomb. This meadow's become a battlefield ever since Big Bob-omb got his paws on a power star. Just a little while ago, a mustached man with a red cap wouldn't listen and left for the mountain. Come to think of it, that mustached man hasn't returned. What would happen to him? Ah, who cares? So as you can tell, the textures are pretty much different top to bottom. And that makes sense because there are textures. For those of you who don't remember, Mario 64 does not have textures for the most part. It just had, oh god, I forget what that's called. Object color, right? Like this thing I'm standing on would just be like gray, and then this would be like green. And not really an actual texture design. Also, this grass is still better than Secret of the Stars grass. We're in the midst of a war between the evil black Bob-ombs and us, Bob-omb buddies. Take a look at the map. When you go down the road on 2 bridges, you'll be in their territory. You see that star on the top of the mountain? That's where the king of the Bob-ombs is. He's very powerful. He throws Bob-ombs from the mountaintop. Careful if you're heading towards the mountain. I mean, yes, obviously the N64 version had textures. It kind of had to. But I mean, do I need to make my point here? Or have I succeeded by sheer virtue of showing you the screen that we're on right now? Do I need to pull up the N64 version to make my point? I'll do it. I'm crazy. Also, you probably can't really see it, but on the minimap, it actually shows you where your current power star is on the map at the time. It's also a nice little minimap in general. I don't think it's really necessary for someone like me who played the hell out of the N64 version, but I actually appreciate it because it serves as a little bit of what I can only refer to as visual continuity, like giving you an idea of where you're at relative to everywhere else. So you kind of have an idea of what's where. Oh yeah, we also get to play as Yoshi, which just makes this game infinitely superior to the original. Any questions? Oh yeah, the cameras are also completely different. What's really funny, the N64 version of Mario 64 had the best camera available at the time. I gotta say it that way. Because it wasn't good. But it was head and shoulders better than everything else at the time. They completely redid the camera controls for this version for pretty obvious reason. They didn't even have the C-stick to do anything with. No, I'd say this is actually more of a Yoshi 64. In fact, one of the more common fan nicknames of this game I've heard is calling this Yoshi 64. Oh yeah, rather than continue joke about it, if you don't mind, Innocence, what do you prefer about the original version, other than the controls? Because I just think we're never going to see eye to eye on that one. Hey, Huthor. The 3DS is the most irritating thing to stream from, other than the N64, ironically. Nothing surpasses the N64 in frustration and aggravation. And that's speaking from experience, good God. No, you do not like this game, Luthor. Oh, much worse than the PS3. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, remember Quest 64, which we had to pretty much redo the entire game? Because of the fact that my physical hardware screwed up. Because I was streaming on an N64. That's okay, though, I'll just use an emulator. Oh, wait, those have problems, too. You notice the addition of the how many of the red coins you have just in the upper left there? It's just part of the HUD now. Nice little quality of life feature. I am, as ever, your dancing monkey, Uthor. So that would be why. There it is. I have a Nintendo DS Lite, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Well, 100% of this game is a little bit different than the original. So, a lot of the stages are different. You haven't really noticed that yet, to be honest, because this stage is only a little bit different. But several of the stages are different, and several other stages are fundamentally different. Because not only do they have to accommodate for the different controls and the different controls, different camera, and different physics engine. Talk about how to put that. But they also had to accommodate for the fact that you have multiple playable characters. Spoiler. And each multiplayer character plays very differently, and so all of them have their own little gimmicks, and some of them can get certain stars that other people cannot. I don't remember it being particularly grindy when I 100% of this game. This is one of the many Mario games I've 100%ed, aka all of them except for 2. There are 2 Mario games I have not 100%ed that are not Mario Wonder. So yeah, I have in fact 100% of this game already. I'm not gonna make this one out of it. That's okay. Aw. Maybe, Lord Harrimont? If I can, you know, convince you to let me do that. See, that makes perfect sense, Inosians. I'm not going to agree with you on that, but at least I understand that completely. Because, yeah, you really do have to use all the characters in order to 100% this one. So, big, green, vibrant area, natural flow and progression of the level. Fun stuff pretty much top to bottom. Great tutorial. New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, and New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS. Those are the only 2 I have not 100%ed. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when we get to them. These are both in the 2D block, so... I'm the big Bob-omb, Baron of all blasting matter, king of kabooms the world over. Incredible! You made it this far even without a mustache. I commend your courage. Be that as it may, I can't just give you my precious power star. You must defeat me in battle if you want it. You'll be quite helpless facing my Bob-omb minions. Now put your tongue back in your mouth. It's quite undignified. Yes, Ross, I have 100%ed Mario Odyssey. And I had fun doing it. There's like, God, 3 moons I did not enjoy getting in that game. Boss battle is, of course, different because we're playing as Yoshi. That's right, the only way we'll ever have peace with the Bob-ombs is through nuclear fire. That hurts! How did I lose to a bald-faced fellow like you? Let's just keep this between you and me. I'll give you my power star in exchange. If you want to see this again, just select the star from the menu. I mean, I'm kind of bald-faced. A little bit. Right. You've recovered a power star. Now you can open some of the sealed doors in the castle. Try the princess's room on the second floor, and the room with the Womp's fortress on the first floor. But still no signs of Mario. Hurry and find him. Yeah, so I was sort of expecting this Yoshi thing to already be done. The fact that we're still playing as Yoshi kind of threw me a little bit. Yoshi, Mario and others just jumped into that picture, but haven't come back out despite the castle's plight. Despite all that, it's really rude to act like a maniac. Use the touchscreen to run a walk on the edges, okay? Like, just... Did you not fall, please? Oh yeah, I should probably actually be doing that. Is it this one? Yep, there we go. Sorry, just figuring out how to long jump. Don't mind me. I guess we don't really need Mario for the next one. Let's just go ahead and keep doing these. Foot race with Coop the Quick, where we need Mario. No, Pika. And we can at least activate these. That's ridiculous. But let's talk to this guy. Let's see what Koopa the Quick has to say. You know where Mario's? I've been looking, but he's nowhere to be found. You don't look like you're busy. If you don't mind, could you bring Mario here? Thanks. So there's actually, to my knowledge, only two things you need Mario for in this game. Which I mostly know thanks to the speedrun community. Koopa the Quick and the final battle. But if you get a Mario hat... Mario does actually play and control differently from Yoshi, of course. They all play and control differently. But that's the other gimmick. It's not just the fact that you can swap between characters, which you can. But most levels that have a requirement for a certain character have a hat for that character in that level, which you can then grab. Yes, that is new, Lord Hermon, as of about 3 weeks ago. And that hat just temporarily gives you that form. Now, the catch is, it is still a power-up. So if you lose your hat, you're back to Yoshi, or whoever you were. "2004, Uthor." Honestly, that's a great system. And the fact that they have such coverage is really nice, too. So, hey, if it isn't Mario, long time no see. You put on a few pounds since I last saw you. Too much pasta and lounging, huh? You should really get some exercise. How about a race to the mountaintop? When I say go, the race begin. Ready? I don't understand that question, Pika. If you hum the Jeopardy theme, and then I hummed the Jeopardy theme, those are two different songs, even though we're both humming the same song. So that's the answer to your question. Yeah, they did a lot of re-recordings and re-analyzing them. This is a remake. Whether it's a proper remake or not, like I said, that's something we'll gauge as we go. But this is a new game based on the bones of the old, which is exactly what a remake means. And in case you lost Mario on the way up, there's a hat right at the top to make sure you can get it back. Well, I would say this is the first proper remake, but actually I'm pretty sure that's the aforementioned Fire Red and Leaf Green. You're really fast, a human rocket. Here you go, you won it, fair and square. Although I suppose that would be Innovator versus Codifier at that point. There were probably remakes before, Fire Red and Leaf Green. But I think those are the things that codified the concept of a proper remake. Right. So, what in God's name? Why is it so hot down here? I mean, I know the answer to that question. I'm going to try something to try and reduce the amount of heat in my room. I'll be right back. There we go. That's true. RER1 does actually predate this. I'm not actually sure. Like, that's definitely not a proper remake. But again, that's not what we were talking about. I do legitimately believe that the Gen 3 remakes of Pokemon are the first proper remakes. But I look forward to being proven wrong about that, because remakes have been around for a bit. Like, it's weird how often that would happen back in the day. You know, people are just like, oh, let's just remake the game we just made. Usually PC stuff, but still. Okay. That I'm not sure about, Ross. Because even, like, for example, the Mario games that were dumped on the SNES for Mario All-Stars, those were remasters. Very, very, very few actual changes. For example, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, does that count as a remake? No. Any more than Champion does. Or Super Turbo, or... Anyways, no. That's the eternal question, Noctis. Which I don't have any answer for, to be totally honest with you. I like both. If I had the power to make 2 games, there's a decent chance I would make 1 remake and 1 new game. Shrug. Well, if I can only pick 1 remake to make, ever... Oh yeah, you can actually control Yoshi with the touchpad. I forgot to actually even show this off. It's, not a control method I recommend doing. If someone told me that this controlled worse than the N64 version, I would agree with them wholeheartedly. Because this is terrible. And I'm using a mouse. I'm gonna pause this for 1 second. Remakes can be cheaper. Because it's a little bit different. Oh, I see the problem. The thing is, and this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is making a remake is still making a new game. The catch is the blueprints are already there, right? So you already have an idea of where the game's going and what the game's doing, both story-wise and gameplay-wise. But you still have to make that level, and you still have to write that story, and you still have to code the script triggers and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but you've already got the blueprint. So that can make it quicker and cheaper. It can also make it more expensive, depending. It's also worth noting that the DS was kind of the era of the proper remake in many ways, for all the reasons already mentioned. You know, developers being like, oh, this is great, and, you know, this is something we can do, and blah, blah, blah. And there were several DS proper remakes as a direct consequence, including the aforementioned Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Alright, so... Ooh. I just jotting down some notes here really quick. Don't mind me. If it, War of the Lions would absolutely qualify as a remake as well, I would say. It doesn't do as much as a proper remake, but it is still definitely a remake. Oh, excuse me. We might actually give Brickwork positives this time around. We didn't to the N64 version. Because, you know. Sorry, I'm jotting down some thoughts here. I meant to do this earlier. I apologize. I would say FF4 on the DS is a proper remake, yes. Although it'll be curious to see how it reviews compared to the others when we do the FF4 comparison block. No kidding, Biogo. Remember when people were arguing we shouldn't be able to give a negative for one stage? Do you remember that? That was during the Mario 64 review. People were arguing I shouldn't have the right to give a negative for one stage. No. Okay. I will not be much longer. Give me just a second. Listen, all I'm saying, Valerian, is that I'm the dictator. With counsel. Yeah, hit me, Huthor. Gushing is good. I like gushing. It's true, Kieran. You know, I feel like, because the Mario 64 review was kind of early on, relatively soon after the Oblivion line. I find myself wondering if people just weren't used to the idea that there is no 10 on this system. And so we're arguing from that mentality. Okay, that's all the thoughts I wanted to jot down really quick. Boop. I am legitimately curious if this one is going to review better than the N64 version. This will be our first time reviewing two versions of the same game, and it's something that I want to do more of in the future, with a couple of specific games. So we'll see. As I've said before, I have no real horse in this race. I'm just interested in the results. Ooh! There we go. Silver Stars. Let's do it. Damn right, we need to review the Pocket Calculator version of Skyrim. I mean, that is something I hear pretty much every week at this point, Blue Fusion. So, if you're paying any kind of attention and you know Mario 64, you're like, hold on. What are these silver stars and why are you getting them? If you're asking that, then you were not listening to me earlier, which of course I don't blame you for. That would require listening to me. Nobody has to suffer from that nonsense. But yeah, so now there are Silver Stars levels. In fact, there's actually quite a few different stars. The overall layout of the stages is mostly the same. Most of the differences are things you probably wouldn't notice unless you're actually really familiar with the games. But there are actual variances in sizes of platforms. Some of the timing is different. The location of some of the enemies is different. The location of some of the doodads is different. Blah, 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 blah. There's several things that are a little bit different in pretty much every stage. But also in every stage, the stars are substantially different. There's a whole bunch of new stars, and in several cases, the stars are just completely changed around from what they originally were. Yeah, there's also more, well, there's more levels in general, and more stars, I should probably mention. Now, whether that's good, bad, or in between, that's what we're here to judge, because you know how that goes. The system is designed to work such that if there's more game, that's more potential for positive and negative. StarCraft 2 proved that you can have a long game that retains density. But that's not a guarantee. 150, I want to say, in this version. I do have 150 save. I have 100% of this game, as I mentioned earlier. I probably shouldn't even be trying for the points one right now. It's getting there, Bregman. Thank you for asking. Okay, it is 150. I thought so. Oh no! My star! Come back! I didn't mean what I said. Oh, Jesus. I haven't decided yet if I'm going for 100%. The only two I'm really going to put real effort into 100%ing are the two I mentioned earlier. New Super Mario Bros. 1 and New Super Mario Bros. 2. The fact that I have 100% of this game I find to be kind of satisfying. Having said that, well, there's something called possible, feasible, reasonable, or PFR, if you prefer. You're probably thinking, what's PFR? Well, if you type exclamation PFR into chat right now, you too can get an answer to that question. Ah, a little too slow. A little too slow. I'm not going to do the bare minimum. I think that's a little bit too few. The whole point of a review is to review as much of the content as is possible, feasible, and reasonable. So we are going to go ahead and do our due diligence as we always do. But am I going to get all of the Luigi purple stars in Mario Galaxy 1? No, that's insane. Done it! You know one of the things I like most about this stage? It's the same thing I like about a lot of early Nintendo stages. A lot of Mario stages, I should say. It's a tutorial without really needing the text boxes. Now, they're there. There are actually text boxes. Like that. That just tell you how to use some things. And there's the Bob-ombs at the beginning who tell you stuff. But if you don't speak the language, you still understand the game. That's one of the golden rules I tend to use for good tutorialization. If I can't read, for whatever reason, can I still understand how to play the game just by playing the game? Embarrassing admission. I didn't realize that you could talk to all these people and get the text from them. until, like, God, my 5th time replaying this version. That is to say, the N64 version. No, come back. Come back. Oh my god. Stop running from me. There we go. So, proper chronological timeline of the Mario games. Would you believe I actually put together a chart for that at one point in time? Yeah, I'm not even halfway there. I'm not even gonna try. Pretty sure I need Mario to get 100 stars, or excuse me, 100 coins for this one. There's really no reward for 100%ing these games. Your reward is, you did it. I mean, you say that jokingly, Colgrim, but that really is it. Yeah, congrats! You did it! Now go home. See if I still have it handy. But... I actually agree with you, Lord Harriman, as weird as that may sound. Like, one thing I don't mind, and the Mario series would actually later standardize this, is where there's a thing where your save file has a different indicator on it to indicate that you have 100% of the game. In fact, some of the Mario games actually have a gradient indicator on your save file to indicate how far you are towards 100%ing the game. I like that. It's a simple, like, indicator I can just point to on the save file and say, boom, there's my medal. That's all I really need from that. Because again, I don't 100% these games to get some kind of reward out of it. 100% them because it's fun to do. Looks like I do not have the graphic anymore. At least I don't see it here. If we're talking about the Mario Tangential games, then no, I haven't 100%ed any of those. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on which game we're talking about. I'm only talking about the mainliners. Nothing else counts. So I'm checking something super quick. I didn't think so. Whatever. Yeah, I have not 100%ed Mario Tennis. I know that's shocking. I know, I just lost half my viewers, but it's true. Oh, I just noticed the Mario cap is visible there, too. Best power-up in the game? In either game, really. Oh no! It's okay. At a certain point, losing half my viewers becomes a lot less painful. Thanks to how math works. So last stage, whoop, we had the Silver Star star. Could someone do me a weird favor and Google right now what the third star was on Bob-omb's Battlefield on the N64 version? Because I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, that last viewer is going to take it in the pants, I'm not going to lie. The king refuses to be dejected by a single defeat. I'm back with a new star from Bowser. I've also restyled my mustache. I'm unstoppable! The only way to do this is to do this. So now the 4th star is the standard King Bob-omb battle that we didn't get instead of the 1st star. Oh no! Shoot the island sky. Thank you, Trakaji. You get my point, though. This is 2 stars, which are fundamentally different than the original. Arguably, those stars would actually be 1 and 3. 4 was just 1 moved, but you get the point. God damn it. I apparently cannot grab this guy. Yep, yep, yep. I always had issues with this back in the day, too. That's the best part. Fine, I'll play with my food. The boss fight itself is also a little bit different, as I tried to show off a little bit here. A lot of smaller details. Again, I have a feeling a lot of people, even if they did realize this is a different game, wouldn't realize how different a game it is unless they were familiar with the original. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm playing this with the PS3 controller, Friscoborn. The perfect controller to play a Nintendo game with. Mario Wings to the Sky. Do we have a Mario hat on this map? If we don't, we officially need to go actually rescue Mario. I don't see one. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the next stage, which I believe should be Thwomps. Well, hello, the Lakitu brothers here with a news update. Our hero's about to learn a technique for sneaking up on enemies. According to eyewitnesses, the trick of sneaking is walking slowly. And, as reported earlier, you can use the touchscreen to walk smoothly and run swiftly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Probably the easiest stage to get 100 coins on. Which I say knowing I'm probably not going to manage it, but it's still true. Probably the biggest thing I have trouble with is in the original version on N64, ground pound is effectively L, that is to say Z. Here it's R, so completely different hand. I mean, wouldn't you, Bragwin? You just got eaten by a Yoshi. Anyways, that's why this game is superior to Mario 64 in every way. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Next up on the list, why every opinion you've ever had is right or wrong, depending on which one will get you to watch more of my views. Please give me all your money. Sincerely, the Clickbait Runner. Yep, I need you to watch more of my views. I love that sound effect, by the way. I can't even emulate it. Yet the top 6 reasons why Mario games have always sucked. Number 3 will surprise you. Why Nintendo secretly hates me. This one weird trick that'll convince you that all the games you loved as a child secretly sucked. And then, literally the next week, this one weird trick to convince you that all the games you loved as a kid are actually awesome. You know my favorite thing about all that nonsense? They don't mean any of it. I mean, I guess that sounds like a duh. But at the same time, it's kind of what irritates me the most about it. They don't mean any of it. They're just lying. I mean, you know, I guess duh. You know, lying to generate clicks. Like, at least if you have a controversial opinion, actually have the frickin' opinion, right? For example, I don't like Dark Souls. And I don't. But I actually have that opinion. That's not like, oh man, I need to generate some interest in my content. I've got it. I secretly hate puppies. Why? Or I guess that sounds like a strange question. Like, what did they screw up in the creation of it to make it suck? Oh god. Oh god. It's okay. We're all okay. You know, that's true in Oceans. See, Benny Lee there has the right to be upset at me for not liking Dark Souls, because at least I actually have that opinion. I'm not just saying that to try to generate controversy or whatever. Nonsense. Just total nonsense. I suppose it could be worse. I could be selling beer. If you get it, you get it. Let's see if I can do this still. Nope. Yep, in the rear with the beer. Unfortunately, I don't think Sava comes here. Okay. 100 coins get. Makes me so mad. We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads, and still you walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No! Well, you're not gonna wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. Got a problem with that? Try to pound me, wimp. Oh, I have been crushed. Okay, it really doesn't work. That's okay. I was just curious. You ever wonder why the rule of 3 exists? Other than the fact that 3 is a good number in general. It's so you can demonstrate... The first time is to make sure that you know what you're doing. That is to say, you can stumble into the correct solution to a boss fight. So the first time is the, oh, okay. The second time is to demonstrate that you can repeat that action. And the third time is to demonstrate that you actually know what you're doing by that point. Boom, boom, boom. Usually there's some escalation, not always. Later Mario 3D games we'll be playing in a few days will showcase how the boss battle actually changes each wave, but it's still 1, 2, 3. Hey, yeah, Dragon. That's true. We need to confirm our biases. For what is life, if not bias confirmed? Or something, I don't know. Exactly. Humans like 3, which is why Imperial is obviously better than Metric. Any questions? Heard it here. Uthor thinks Metric is total garbage. Aw, I had that too. Yep, just lost another half of my viewers. That's the goal. I'm just trying to I almost said kill off. Get rid of all of my viewers. Then I'll be free. Free of this endless curse. I was cursed by the stream. Oh, god dang it. Cursed as a young lad. It's one of those monkey paw situations. Man, I sure wish I could play video games for a living. Monkey paw curls. No, I haven't, Uthor. Don't mind me, I'll just be over here being squished. Yep, I have to play Secret of the Stars for a living. Ah! Oh, jeez. Can you not do that, camera? Please. Oh, God. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. If I plummet to my death, it's just me dying horribly. It's all fine. Everything's fine here. All fine here. Oh, God, oh, God. Oh, jeez. No, I swear these graphics are good, Savicom. I swear. Don't beat me anymore, please. See, Savicom's actually terrifying, because she actually knows karate, so she can beat the ever-living snot out of me. What the hell do I got? Boxing? I'll be like, all right, let's fight, and then I'll be on the floor, and not sure what happened. 100% run of Balan Wonderworld. Sure thing. That'll be $23 million. Look, if you want me to completely torpedo my career by playing a terrible game 100%, you're gonna have to make it worth my while. That's all I'm saying. Where's the 7th? I know this one. I guess I could get this one, but I don't remember where the other one is. Where's the one I'm missing? Oh, is it down? I don't think so. Oh, God. Yeah, make me do 101% DK64. And for those of you not familiar with it, yes, that is a nightmare. 100% Inquisition without mods. Oh, God. Oh, God. I didn't even 100% it this time. I just, like, 98%ed it. So, for those of you who don't understand the Donkey Kong Country reference, do me a favor. Look up Donkey Kong 64 number of collectibles. I don't know what you're talking about, Kay. This is definitely on real hardware. Wink, wink. I mean, I do own this game, so that's whatever. I mean, all I didn't do was the shards. With regards to DAI. Yep, this is on official Nintendo hardware. Definitely. Wait. I don't remember where the other red coin is. I have 7 of the red coins. I don't remember where the other one is. I mean, again, I own this game. I don't feel bad about emulating. No, I never played Mario 64 DS on the N64. There it is. Oh, that was actually close. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. But yes, I did play Mario 64 on the N64. In fact, I 100%ed Mario, or no, almost 100%ed Mario 64 on this N64. No, I did. I 100%ed it back in the day. Checking my own thoughts here. Mario Odyssey, Huthor. Immediate answer. In the original DS game? Yes. This is the original DS game. Like, you realize that, right? This isn't modded or anything like that. So, take 2. Hey, Unicorn. Give me one moment here. Which Deus Ex do you want to put that towards? There are like 3, I want to say, on the list. Human Revolution. You got it. Thank you for the support, always. Good night, Dr. Winter. Get some rest. Invisible War. Ah! You know one of the things I like most about Mario 64, and I mean this, each of the stars and stages is relatively short. Whoa, okay, that was a little buggy. You know, I mean, Mario stages in general should be short, so that makes sense. Unless you're doing what I'm doing and failing all over the place, good God. Listen, I never claimed to be good at video games. Okay, that's just getting funny. Oh, come on. Yep, and that's going to send us right back down. So, there's something called tilting, but there's actually another problem, which looks a lot like tilting. Yes, I have Young Dragon, but actually isn't tilting at all. It's just when you kind of have a string of bad luck over and over and over again. It's always something unrelated, right? It doesn't matter if you're playing right. It doesn't matter if you're doing well or not. It's just things screw up in order, and it's just like... And it's just, you just feel like, you know, maybe I should just put the controller down for a few minutes. Maybe, you know. Maybe the universe is screwing with my RNG. I don't know. See you around, Crazy Horse. Get some sleep, get some rest, get some health. What? What was that? Oh, I actually know what happened there. Okay, so that I at least know why that happened. It's a little on the irritating side. And another reason why I prefer not to play as Yoshi. We need to rescue Mario, so I can play as someone real. No, here, let me demonstrate what keeps happening. Well, at least what has happened twice. See that? That little dash thing? That's what keeps throwing me. That is functionally my fault, but it is still throwing me every time I do it. The problem, to explain what's happening, you have to hold down run to run. I know, shocking. The show, Mr. Rood. You have to hold down run to run, but if you hold down run for too long, you do that kind of charge up thing, which kind of throws your momentum. Listen, if Miyamoto wanted me to walk, he would have given me wings. Are you kidding me? I'm not even sure what happened there. No, I'm really not sure what happened on that one. It's a D-pad, Frisco-born. There is no sensitivity. It's binary, on or off. Now, I'm normally okay with that. I don't mind holding down the run button. In fact, I'm really used to it. What's throwing me is that we've got that stupid dash thing for no reason. Like, they gave us an extra move, and all it does is actually remove, you know, some of the control of the game. So I'll give you that one, Inosians. That is demonstrably worse controlling. And it's not like Mario 64 is known for being the pinnacle of platforming anyways. Yeah, you can play this game with the touchpad. I'm not that crazy. Here, I should do at least one stage with the touchpad. Let's do that. Okay, so let's switch to full touch mode. Let's do this. Okay, so... Oh my god, how the hell am I gonna do this? Alright, alright. This is... So, my jumps are over here on my left hand. And the controls, like the movement, is over here on the right. And you've seen the kind of issues I've been having already. So let's see how we do. As long as I don't have to jump, this isn't terrible. The touchpad is my mouse. 5. Yeah, and I fundamentally cannot use the mouse with my left hand, so we're stuck doing this. Oh yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising. Oh my god, what were they thinking of that? Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is pretty much challenge mode at this point. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. God, I can't do it as Yoshi. By the way, fun fact, they actually got rid of falling damage in later games as a direct reaction to feedback about the very game we're playing right now. I can't even beat Punch-Out with the freaking punching glove, the power glove. And I've tried. Oh my god. Okay. I think I give up on using the touchpad. That is exactly as terrible as that sounds. Oh my god. That really was just a challenge mode for all intents and purposes. Jotting down some thoughts here. Don't mind me. Fall into the caged island. Oh, jeez. Okay. I actually don't remember what it takes to rescue Mario, to be totally honest with you. I should mention this is actually only my second time playing this game. The DS version, specifically. Played it, 100%ed it, and hadn't been back. So I don't remember all this stuff as well as I'd like to. So this is a little bit fresh. I mean, Frisco. Oh, alright, so. Okay, hang on. There's actually a couple of ways to do this. We're going to try the insane method. If Google says, then Google must be right. Google would never lie to me. It knows the consequences of lying to me. Exactly, Savika. Top 10 anime betrayals. Google. It's just Google. They're all just Google. Alright, so we now have 10 stars. Let's go see if we can rescue Mario. There's 7 stars in each course. You need to use your different people to get them all. I don't know if I'd call what I am good at this game, but then again, honestly, my standards are probably a bit too high. I should call that something. Let's call it speedrunner-itis. When you see the people who are the best in the world at something, and then you compare yourself to it. That's speedrunner-itis right there. I believe Yoshi is a dinosaur, which I suppose would make him reptilian. So here's where we rescue the characters. Unfortunately, we need keys for this. How strange. Hey, Toad. I lost the keys to Princess Toadstool's secret drawer. She's gonna chew me up big time. You find the keys? It's just between you and me, but you can open the drawer when you have a key. The drawer leads to the rec room. That's where you can find mini-games. And speaking of, we now have 8 stars. Actually, that too, Melkor. People go past the first page on Google searches? Oh, hey, there's a Mario painting. This is all completely new content if it's not. Yeah, exactly, Beto. So this is a completely new zone and a completely new everything. Opinions vary, but the idea is that most of these stages are supposed to be harder than most of their comparative stages, relatively speaking. Whether that's true or not, eh. You notice they also have red coins, because of course they do. I like this take on this particular song quite a bit. Not all of these mixes work for me, but this is a good one. Come on. There we go. No, Nope, you need to eat something to lay an egg. Which says a lot about the Yoshi's reproductive methods, if you think about it. I've always wondered why they went with eggs with Yoshi instead of, you know, literally anything else. That's because this is unique to the DS version. There's actually several unique to the DS version stages. No, I think Yoshis are like the Asari. They're just all Yoshi. Within the Great Convalescence, they are all Yoshi. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, thank you. Okay, let's do this. Can someone Google something for me? Not that I'm going to go for it, I think. It's PFR, but can someone Google to tell me if there are 100 coin stars in the new stages, in the rescue stages? Like, this one's called Bob-omb Battle, for example, is the name of this stage. That's cool. Come on. Go away. I didn't know that was a thing until you said it, Melkorblade. Boss, it's right there in the middle. The name of the stage is Bob-omb Battle. Yeah, sorry, I've been very no man on Mario Wonder so far. And I would kind of like to keep it that way. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say, Melkor, is you're banned forever! Thank you for checking, Shadow Machine. Whoa, okay, that dash threw me again. That's really frustrating. Why didn't that just stay on the minimap? That would actually be useful. Instead of giving me a frickin' screenshot. See, that I would believe. Mario Wonder literally gave me cancer. And is also Hitler. At the same time. Well, that was a worthwhile one-up. Okay, well, that's what I was wondering, Shadow Machine. Spooky with liminal spaces? Do you mind defining that for me so I understand what you're on about? Yeah, one time I bought Mario Wonder, and And then my niece said she would never wanted to see me ever again. And then I immediately killed myself. And when I woke up, I was playing Mario 64. Jesus! That Goomba needs a frickin' raise. Hey, Seth. Yes, I am implying that Mario 64 is hell. I also didn't score it particularly highly when we reviewed it. Nor did I expect to. I'm no Goomba. I'm Goomboss, a great Goomba, the great Poobah Goomba. That Mario always stomps on us. But now the tables have turned. I locked him up in a room. But he's crying like a baby. I got no business with you to scram. There's no way a prehistoric wimp like you could beat my stupendous stomps. I didn't actually mean to do that. I just want to get everybody as dizzy as possible. Damn it. That's just perfectly killing themselves here. Oh, thank God I got Seth to vomit. Guys, we did it. We did it. We'll be a little patient. Oh, jeez. Okay. Sorry, Seth. I'm so sorry, Seth. Beaten by a pipsqueak like you? How'd that happen? Is it just the Goombas' fight to lose? Not until I make the Mario 4X. The Goombas are going to be a whole faction. It's going to be great. I have Mario locked up in a room, you know. Let's queue up in the room. Oh, still can't believe you beat me. The Goombas. The Goombas. Either way, I've never really thought of... I mean, I guess technically the painted worlds are surreal by virtue of being painted worlds. But I'll be honest, I never thought of it past that step, right? They're paintings brought to life by magic. Of course they don't really conform to normal reality, right? It's just, I don't know. No, of course not, Dream Whisperer. Although it might be a challenge mode to win as them.
Mario!
You've rescued Mario. You are now invincible. I mean, yeah, I agree, Melkor. If I could be blunt for a second, you know how I quit doing lore runs? Do you know why I quit doing lore runs? It's because I ran out of things to do lore runs about. And I saw that coming years in advance and kind of prepped for it, and that's one of the reasons why I do reviews now, is because I sort of shifted my business model over to doing something that I had a little more repeat content on. I have a feeling that most people who do YouTube videos and or streams don't really think about things like that. It doesn't occur to them to say that eventually they're going to just start running out of things to say, right? So they make up crap. They're like, oh yeah, no, here's a in-depth essay on the coin model, 20-minute video talking about this coin model, and it's just, it's very yellow. And then they just say that for 20 minutes. Now that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but no. That really is just as bad as that is. Some of the video essayers out there, not all of them, but some of them are just absolutely ridiculous with some of the content they come up with, because they have completely run out of content. And yeah, exactly, Saberboy. It's always like, here's how the coin changed Mario forever. Something they will not even answer within the video in question. Anyways, so speaking of which, I hope you look forward to my new upcoming lore boxes. Every time you purchase one, it'll give you 3 lore points, which may contain, which you can eventually use to redeem for one particular lore tidbit of your choice. It may also contain a random lore tidbit of your choice, or a cosmetic lore tidbit. It's okay, because you're not actually paying for the service, you're paying for the cosmetics, so that makes it alright. Get back here. I would ne'er gainsay doing microtransactions. Oh god, I can't. There we go. One moment, please. That audio's being a little weird. Hey, Don. Let's see what this sounds like. Thank you for the sub, as always. I will put that towards Deathloop. Can I beat Mario 64 while collecting every coin? Actually, you know what's really messed up? This Mario 64, the original, is such a well-known game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That we know exactly how many unique coins are in the game. Don't ask me the number. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it is a known value. Okay, that sounds much worse. Holy crap, that sounds so much worse. Jesus. Okay, let's go back over to here. I wonder. Yes, not all of them are collectible. That is correct. Would a Mario RTS work? Yeah. Although the Mario 4X is the game I want to make someday. And that's not a joke. I've been thinking about how to make that Mario 4X for literally a few years at this point. I feel like the setting has enough cool stuff in it to be worthy of the effort. Although I could, of course, be wrong. Okay. Yes and no, Saber for Wife. Or put simply... Really? There we go. Put simply, in some cases, yes, but in other cases, no. Like, you can beat StarCraft... Well, that's a bad example. God, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a specific example, because I know there's examples of games which you can beat in ridiculous ways, and the game in question really gets no credit for those. Then in other cases, it's like, oh man, I can't believe you can actually do that. That's such a testament to the game design. Like Ocarina of Time Blindfold, or Punch-Out Blindfold, are both examples where they probably should get credit, at least a little bit, for how much of the... for how much of the game you can beat blindfolded or otherwise, right? Yeah, thank you, Goofy Movie. That's a good example. Yeah, I forgot. So, as a reminder, this is my second time playing this, so I kind of forgot about the fact that I haven't unlocked the wings yet. Can you beat StarCraft without having fun? Yeah, that's easy. But can you beat StarCraft 2 without having fun? That's impossible. Sounds like it's specific sound effects. Oh, come on! That's just foul play at that point. So, one of the things that this game does share with its predecessor is the terrible, terrible camera. The problem here is the camera's trying to keep you at a relative angle all the time. And that is a problem, because if you're trying to do something precision-wise and the camera's moving on you, well, your input is relative to the camera. So you're just kind of guessing at where you're actually going, because you can't fully see because of the isometric problem, a problem we will actually bring up and give many negatives to when it comes to Mario 3D World. Mario 3D World is a great game, but that isometric problem is awful in that game. God damn! I just can't steer to the right for some reason. That's actually kind of strange. At this point, I'm actually starting to suspect something. I mean, most early 3D games, in fact, most 3D games in general, tend to get negatives for camera, yes. I would say one of the only ones ever that won't is Mario Odyssey. There we go. Jesus. There is a crackling sound, yeah. There is an audio glitch around the certain types of sound effects, including the one that's being played by the balls that are barreling down through here. And that one. And there doesn't appear to be anything I can do about that. I mean, there might be something I can do about that, but I kind of doubt it. Let's try this. See if this works out. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where's the one I'm missing? Yeah, 3D Land, ironically, fixes the camera issue by virtue of being mostly a 2D game, despite the name of the game. I'll talk about that when we get there, but Mario 3D Land is really more like Mario 2D Land, at least in terms of the level design. I already got that one, I think. I got that one? Hang on, let me go check. It's actually been a while. Nope, that didn't seem to fix it. Yeah, like Crash Bandicoot, which is 3D, but no, in gameplay terms, it's functionally 2D. Okay, I already got this one. Which one am I missing? Does anyone remember the 8th red coin? Because I apparently don't. Actually, I have to look this up. Holy crap. It's okay, the Mario Wiki is actually a great source for this stuff. It's one of the good wikis. Okay. Moving platforms find the path. Already got that. Stump near the chain chomp. Got that. Hill near the Koopa Troopa. Got that. That's underneath this. 2 near the star marker. Slope on the side. Got that one. Tree on the floating island. Got that one. Small area near the ground switch. I think I got that one. The worst wiki I've ever seen? Oh, jeez. I'd have to think about that. The meme answer would be Memory Alpha, but no, there's worse than that. Right, Innocence, thank you. I don't remember if I've gotten that one in this particular attempt, so let's go see if that's the one I'm missing. Let's not fall off this time. Yeah, no, I've seen some wikis that are just trash. There's just no information. And it's just a page saying, like, imagine pulling up a wiki of the level we're on right now, and you just see a link to... There it is. Thank you. And you just see a link that says Bob-omb Battlefield. And the page is just the text, Bob-omb Battlefield, and, like, 15 ads. Okay, so that's all we can do there at the moment, because we haven't unlocked the thing yet. Alright. WoW Wiki is awful, which is why I haven't used it in years. Wowpedia, which recently actually shifted to Warcraft Wiki, much better, much more useful. Poor Mario. He's so tired. Give me 1 second, Simple Gamer. How's that do? Eh. Nothing, apparently. Alright, whatever. I apologize. I'm trying to debug this sound issue. I haven't had this issue before, but it's kind of relative per game. You know how it is. Thank you for your support, the Simple Gamer, and for your presence. I'll put that towards One Shot, Epic Battle Fantasy 5, and Henry Stickmin. Okay, let's try that. Hopefully this doesn't destroy the entire universe. Oh my god! Oh, that's so terrible. Oh god, it's so terrible. We recently, very recently, changed it. Oh god, it's still bad. So that just to make everything go to triple, other than adding something new to the list, which is still the rule, just to smooth that out. Hey Rex, do you know anything about emulating the DS, Rex? That got rid of the visual issues, but the audio issues are still problematic. Yeah, this is an odd bug, and I'm not finding a lot of info about it. I'm using Desemu, or what's this stupid thing called? DESMUME. Traditionally, this is the one that works for me. This is the one that I've had the most success with, which is exactly why I'm doing it. Let's fiddle with this a little bit. Nope. The audio's crackling regularly. If it's just a thing in the original, I need to find my actual DS then, because I could just test that. I mean, if that's just an issue with the game, that's something we need to establish, because if it is, then that is a negative. If it's an emulation bug, then it is not. Listen to that. God. Okay. Oh, hang on. Where is my TS? Give me a second. Give me a second. It would be in, like, my 3DS. I guess I could use a 3DS to test this as well. In which case, all I need is the game. Which is... I feel like we're right here. Hey, it's right there. Holy crap. Okay. All I have to do is lift 2 heavy things. And we're good. Excuse me, sushi. There, have some sushi, everyone. Oh my god, Sea Star! Are you okay? Let's do it. Ah! heavier than it looked. In fact, it is the third game from the bottom in this pile, in this stack. Still, if I use clear plastic totes, and other than like cosmetics, the reason I do that is that way I can stack my games in them so that they're out like this, right? So I can just look at the bin and see where my games are. Here's my proof, Nintendo. Alright, so let me grab my 3DS here. You stop snoring, please, Mario. Thank you. So rude. Yeah, we'll just load by 150 here. And I'll just let that sit for a minute until Mario falls asleep. That should be a pretty definitive test because it's happening right there. So let's close that for the moment. Tech issues. My favorite things to deal with in my life. I mean, there's certainly compressed audio. But yeah, I'm having no issues on the hardware. Well, that's that then. Sorry, everyone. We cannot give a negative to a game that does not deserve it. I apologize. I know you all just feed on the negatives. The compression is real. I'm not gonna lie about that. Come on. Like, holy crap. It's especially obvious with the headphones. I love how Mario is front and center and it's called Mario 64 DS. But, like, Yoshi, come on. Give the boy some credit. That's all I'm saying. Well, let's see how Melon treats us. We must kill Mario. Mario's secret middle name is, put it here. It's Chaos. Mario, Chaos, Mario. Okay. There's a lot of options I don't know anything about, which is always a good sign. Does Melon not have save states? Asking for a friend. No, like, I don't see save states at all, is my point. Not that I would ever use them. Okay. See you around, Talia. Have a good afternoon? Evening? This is a little loud.
It's me, Mario.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I've baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
The good news is we can test if it's glitching again almost immediately. Come on. The visuals also look worse, but I'm not sure what I can do about that. Other than you just live with it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's crazy looking. Sure, we can live with that. But let's see if the audio works before we bother with the conversion, shall we? I'll show you in a second. Actually, I suppose I could do like something like as a temp thing here. So, that's pretty much the crazy thing right there. Whoops. Like, the difference is jarring. And if it doesn't look jarring, allow me to elucidate. So you see how it looks right now, right? Well, look what happens when I hit this button. This is what it looked like initially. And this is what we're actually running at. Which is a little silly, honestly, like I said. This is a native res increase. Thanks to how it operates. Like, you could kind of tell because the actual, the textures aren't really all that different. But the models have a lot less blurriness to them, which I'm always in favor of less blur in my life. But we need to see if we have the audio bug. So, let's go over here. Alright, the rabbit's not even there yet. Bit of a deja vu going on here. It's a bit of a shock, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Red. I mean, I did literally eat the rabbit, so... Per your commands, Shadow Machine. It's also weird going from a game that's one of the best controlling games ever, that's StarCraft 2, to one of the worst controlling games ever, Mario 64 on the DS. Alright, moment of truth. We know exactly where the audio glitch shows up, so we can just beeline for it. That looks so much better, by the way. I'm sure nobody else cares, but at least on my screen, that is so much sharper. It's literally more relaxing for my eyes. Not hearing any glitching. So that's good. So I think we're sold. You said we can convert saves, Valerian? Because I could just redo those 11 stars, but I'd honestly kind of rather not. If we can't, I'm going to assume we can't, and we're just going to go forward as if we can't. You know, try to get past this. But for those of you who just saw... So this is Bob-omb Battlefield, the first stage of the game. It serves as a really good tutorial for everything you really need to know about the game. Camera control, movement, jumping. It allows you to get used to the concept of a 3D platformer. You'll notice that this stage is fundamentally 3D. Which I know sounds like a weird statement, but what I mean by that is some 3D stages in some games are just 2D stages that happen to be in 3D. I don't mean like the Crash Bandicoot thing, I mean like just some certain stages lend themselves towards that in terms of their layout and whatnot. This game, this level, the very first thing you do is you go up around a hill, which I know is a really minor thing, but keep in mind this was designed for people to get used to the very concept of 3D as a gaming space. So they really wanted people to be like, yeah, no, you can't just go left or right. You have to go around or up or down or all kinds of stuff. You can fall, and there's the concept of, for what I can only refer to as the overworld. The stage itself is just such a fundamentally different philosophy, is the word I want to use here, from what they were doing in previous Mario games. I mean, even Mario World was still level-based, for example. But here, they actually wanted to try and make it so that each world was a hub in a slightly different state. So, the core level is the same each time, but the specifics of the level are different every single time. So some stars you can pick up in other stars' states, and some you cannot. For example, the state we're in right now, I believe it's actually impossible to get the red coin star. And I know it's impossible to get the silver star, for example. So, stuff like that, right? It was honestly ruddy brilliant. The way they did this, obviously this exact game we're streaming right now doesn't really get credit for this. But Mario 64 itself was built to be a game that was designed for people to run around and explore. No, I understand what you mean, Blair. Okay, so let's see. No fun allowed.
Me, Mario.
Okay, so that didn't work at all. Alright. It's okay. It's all good. I have other ideas. Which aren't working.
Me, Mario.
Correct, Shadow Machine. And yeah, that's definitely its own positive worthy. Hey! There we go. Thank you, Valerian. And thank you, Rax, for suggesting Melon. I guess this is going to be my go-to now. So much sharper. Okay, so. Right. Let's continue playing the game as if nothing happened. Oh god, the ice level. Okay, so by memory, my niece hates me.
Hello?
And wants me to die for some
No.
reason. Why do you hate me so?
I don't.
What's up, kiddo?
I have come for your candy.
She's stealing my candy, which is funny because she just got a box of candy for Halloween, and she's come for my candy.
Candy?
For Halloween?
I didn't know.
You have a literal box upstairs and
I have a bag.
You have a bag of candy?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I'm being facetious. I actually specifically bought this candy to share with her. It's
Are
a
these
bunch of
Pop
like
Rocks?
Japanese. I have no idea. You want me to? Here, where's the phone?
Oh, well, I may or may not have already for it, but
Let me see what we got.
do we have an open pack of these?
No, but go ahead and open
Or
it.
these?
It's no again, but go ahead and open them. It's okay. Okay, this to be opened. Okay, so this says refreshing. It says Pachipa Panic. Your mouth will be filled with laughter. Refreshing soda flavored. Cola is.
Cola is.
Cola is.
I guess it's backwards day.
And on the back, it says caution for parents. The candy is sealed with compressed gas. If it comes into contact with water, the gas may cause the candy to burst. When giving candy to children, be careful not to lick the candy in their mouth.
What? What? I guess I won't lick the candy in my mouth. I'll keep it.
Okay, sure, whatever. Let's see if
Compressed air.
the compressed air will explode. They're like little mints or something. Let me try to get like one out of here, and then I'll leave the rest for you. Here we go.
Candy contains compressed air.
Here you go.
Do not lick in their mouth.
And then I die right there on stream.
So, did you die from licking it in
That's
your mouth?
pretty good, actually. But I did die from eating it. Brains. Brains.
Yep, they're Pop Rocks.
Yeah. They're just, I don't know, they taste good.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more Dr. Pepper.
Hmm.
It's like,
This is another one
it's a mix of.
I want to try with you if you don't mind. I mean, I want to try all these with you, so that's whatever.
Oh, they've got like mints too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like marshmallow cereal.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Okay, so this is
Like the little.
Melon Panda Butter Cookies. And on the back it says, let's connect the dots. It's Melon Panda. Add a note to send at our expense. I'll enjoy having this.
Wait, I want to see it.
Oh, hang on.
I want to look at the actual candy. Well, cookie.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, here.
No, not the open. Oh my goodness. Connect the dots.
Yeah, to like draw out
Oh,
the
yeah,
panda.
It's a connect the dots. How are you supposed to do connect the dots on this material?
I don't know. Look, English is amazing. What's your favorite? What's your
English?
English? It's when it's not quite English, but you can kind of tell what they're saying.
Oh.
What's your favorite candy? The viewer's asking.
Hego.
My favorite chocolate is Kit Kats.
Mm-hmm.
For the nuts material. My favorite candy is Jolly Ranchers.
Really? What flavor? If you don't mind.
Or watermelon and peach.
Ooh.
Or the warheads.
Oh yeah, I like warheads.
They're the one candy that's actually sour.
That's true. Oh, sour candy is just sweet with a bit of citric acid in it.
Let's do the wall.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
Why?
Because it was there.
Mario Kart.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Bonk.
It's fine. I got a 1-up. That's all that matters.
Into the floor.
Come on, go through the damn... Go through the door! Evo says hi. She says hi. And now, Eva, what you should say is hi. And then she can say hi. And we just get into a loop. Yep, no, Eva just said hi.
Hi.
Yep, no, we're in a loop. We're in a loop. We failed. We're done. We're done. She says to share this picture with you.
Hi.
She says hi!
Looks yummy.
She says it looks yummy. Yeah, 30 go too high. Okay, so back into the snow area. How are they? Excellent.
Hego.
Apparently they taste like food, which is good because there are other things that food can taste like, and I'm not sure we want that to be a thing. I can't believe I just did that. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Let me out here. Whatever. Yeah. It could taste like soda, but, I mean, what is soda if not liquid food? Come here, penguin. We got a date with the bottom of this mountain. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're okay. Wow. We're okay. Okay, we're okay. No. What is water if not tortured sugar? Wait, what is soda if not tortured sugar? Could you shut up, please, you stupid penguin? Sure, we'll do this the intended route. Why not? I feel like being suicidal today. Oh wait, we actually haven't unlocked the damn thing yet, have we? Okay, never mind. Okay, so never mind. Intended route be gone. Oh god. I could still recover if I hadn't jumped. Well, that's what I'm doing with the penguin, Yura.
Yes, let's fly.
That was always the plan.
Penguin can't fly.
Look, penguins have flaps. That counts, right?
Only it was a coop.
That's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure they actually share the same model. I mean, the colors are different. Then look at it. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. We have the power to do this thing and not die.
Not die. Proceeds to jump.
We're fine. I know, Dream Whisperer. I'm aware of a lot of tricks in this game. Ignoring the fact that I've played this game many times and 100%ed it, including the version we're playing, I also have followed the speedrunning community of this for a long time. Now, I suck at the game, but that doesn't mean I don't know. Well, thank you for telling me. What is rain but torture? Oh gosh. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Besides, I kind of want to see what the intended route is like. This is a review, after all. As intended. Hey, I brought your daughter, or whatever this is. Oh, you found my baby. Where have you been? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, there's the star. Should we do it? Should we do it? I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. She says we should do it. She says we should do it. She says we should do it. Goodbye. It stopped crying. Into the
Throws baby
abyss.
Mom, hands you star. You throw baby off.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? We're done. Oh, shoot. That's true. That is actually true.
Yeet.
Okay, so how do I...
Want me to bring it, not to give it to you. Throws off. But...
Hey, Rax and or Valerian, how do I rebind what the save state buttons are? Because they're the reverse of what they should be, and I almost just lost all my progress because I was about to hit load when I meant to hit save. Just for you, in no sense. Because they're not in input rebinding, which is kind of where they should be. That's true, you just saw a video of me killing youngling. Singular, not plural. Alright, so race time. You ready? This is hard, actually. I'm the world champion sledder. I may be bulky, but I'm very fast. How about a race? Ready to go. Yep, no cheating. Let's do it. Excuse me. Yeah. Shouldn't be so greedy, but I'm gonna be super greedy. And then go flying off into my death. MU settings. Boot game directly, use external files, CPU emulation. Nope, nothing there. Movies, maybe, Lord Harriman? No, it doesn't sound right. Path settings? No, that's not going to help it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Okay.
Me, Mario.
Ooh, photos. That's a good one. What are photos if not tortured light?
Huh?
There's a line in a video game which says, "What is glass if not tortured sand?" And we've been making fun of it ever since because it's such a dumb line. So it's like, what are photos if not tortured light? What is water what is ice if not tortured water? It doesn't even mean I don't know. What is a man?
Forgot what the stuff we breathe out is called.
The what? Hydrogen? Wait, do we breathe out hydrogen? I actually don't remember. We breathe out something. Looks like we need firepower for the red coins on this level. Dude,
What
good
is the
soup
thing
is
we breathe
amazing.
out if not tortured oxygen?
What is it we breathe if not tortured oxygen? Or what is exhalation if not tortured oxygen? stop being greedy. That killed me last time! And it's... Listen, I'm all about...
When you first started, Mario's face was in the penguin's
Mamma
butt.
mia!
Well, not anymore. Now I'm in the snowman's butt.
Let's go!
The snowman has a butt, by definition. Spoilers. It's made of snow. What is drawing if not tortured paper? What is drawing if not tortured paper? What is drying if not tortured paper? I give up. Oh, god dang it. That is the hard one. That's where I died the first time, too, if you're paying attention.
Mamma mia!
Getting low in lives here.
Let's go!
Well, I mean, we kind of don't. In this case, I had like 20, but it resets every time I restart. Really, Innocence? That... Oh, that's gonna be terrifying.
Cheating.
Not only am I cheating, but I didn't start the race. Okay, well, I don't want to die for no reason. So what we're gonna do... Get all kinds of points. Just get the points. And then use the cheating path, which is what this is. There we go, there's a 1-up. I see... There's a 1-up down here, so now we can die safely. I'm gobsmacked that they, like, disallow the ability to rebind an input of any kind, especially save stating. Like, I'm actually confused by that. Okay, let's see if I can remember the spot. Oh, neck. Have you seen my baby? No.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, it's fine. She's fine. Everything's fine. Do not worry about the baby.
No, it's the trash can person. It's fine.
Okay.
How did that connect to there?
It's a bridge. It's an incomplete bridge. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, take 2. Oh, yeah, let me try that. Ah! No. Is it one cookie? Is it supposed to be? Oh my god, this is falling apart. I'm sorry. Now I gotta try it. That is a weird aftertaste. It's like a... It's very melony. It's almost, like a... aloe vera flavored cookie. That was a weird one. Where's my controller?
On the floor.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know, Zobe. Probably not. Whoa, there. Ugh, okay. I knew that was going to happen, too. I knew that was going to happen.
Mamma mia!
I hate this race so much. I hate the harder version of it much more, but I hate this version of the race still.
Let's go!
What is light if not tortured darkness? Considering Kingdom Hearts setting, that makes perfect sense. Oh, I just realized Rax is going to hate working on the Kingdom Hearts rewrite with me. Because we're going to have to define light and darkness. I think that's just the internet in general, Mr. Red. Okay, talk to me. Talk to me. Give me my star. You broke my record. Unbelievable. I heard you were the coolest. Now you've proven you're also the fastest. I can't give you a gold medal, but instead I'll give you infinite power. That's true. We can make the light good and dark bad. We could do that if we wanted to. I'm sure Rex would love that. You know, it's warmer over by my bed if you probably... Okay. Sounded okay. Not like I don't appreciate you. Okay. Red coins. I think we can't actually do this one yet. Because I don't think we can break the ice block. So we're just gonna bail on this. Ah, good. Time to get the worst power-up in the known history of the universe.
What?
The ability to fly. Very badly. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I've already failed. I've already failed. Oh, God. Oh, God, I hate everything. No, no, no. Come on. Come on. Don't do this to me. No, no, no. No, no, no. There we go. Okay. And we have just tossed a bunch of red stars down into the depths. As is our want, I guess. Let's get out of here. I'm not even trying for this red coin. I hate... This is one of my least favorite stars in the entire game, is that one right there. We're not even going for that. But now we can go get this one. Jesus Christ, Innocence. That is bonkers. That means I'm just going to have to, like, essentially not save state, which is fine, but not really what I was going for. Because I know that that's just going to be an issue if this is just the wrong input. And I was like, alright, let me go save state. And then I load state, and then there goes an hour of my life. Or worse. Oh, it's a feather now. Yes, I know how to... Yep, yep, okay, cool. Here's this amazing, awesome emulator. Also, screw you. Ooh, way too high. Timing is literal, or the aiming is different, which I suppose makes sense, considering, you know, it's a different engine and all that. Ah, come on. suppose I can try to just do it this way. No. You didn't see that. It's okay, she literally didn't see it. Oh, jeez. This game came out in 2004, Evo. More recent than you thought. That's not the reaction most people have when I mention that. Oh my god, I'm old. 19 years ago. This game came out 19 years ago. There we go. Hey, Cash Star. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Thank you for the sub, Cash Star. I do always appreciate your support. If you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Yes, the original came out 96, I want to say. 1996? Pretty sure.
Let's go.
Alright, now Evo, you're paying attention, right? Because this is going to be on the quiz. Do you see where the... Oh, of course you don't. Okay, so you see where the star is, right? It's right in front of me. How do we get to it? I'll wait.
Fly through the gate.
Fly through the gate. Okay. So, the kiddo said we can't swim through the air. The kiddo says... Oh, my God. Let me up the hill. There we go. You got this, Evo.
And then the gate.
We're going to cannon the gate. Actually, we can't, because you notice they specifically put that wall there so you couldn't do that. They knew. They knew.
And now you fly through the gate.
Yeah, first I got to get the wings, but then, yes. I didn't really want the wings, honestly. Anyway, so the answer is I get hit by the chain chomp. I can't see what I'm doing. Ugh, get hit again. Very important to keep getting hit by the chain chomp. Oh yeah, 1 health left. 1 health left. I got this. We free the chain chomp, and in his joy and jubilation at being freed, he smashes through the gate. All we're missing is the coins, actually. Which I'm cool with not doing.
Let's go.
So let's go ahead and bow out. We can't do the ice level yet because we don't have that power up, so let's go hit Thwomp again. See where we're at with those. What's a mulitas?
Let's go.
Ross. Okay, so I want... let's do this. We'll do it the slow way. Corn tortillas with meat and cheese. I was gonna say, that sounds like a corn tortilla quesadilla. Hey, kiddo, what do you think of that idea? She says she has no idea what I'm talking about and isn't paying attention to me.
I say cow.
Cows?
Cow.
Cows. She prefers eating cows. I agree. Cows are delicious. Seriously, have you eaten cow lately? Oh. Delicious burger. Sorry, burger. Burger. Whoops, whoops. Right. I just remembered how to do this level. Or rather, do the star. Okay. We'll try it. Sure, why not? I like being, you know, suicidal. Me too. But it is almost dinner time. Come here. There we go. No, wait. Come back. Come back, owl friend. You know, I'm not actually sure, Dream Whisperer. That was a lot easier than I remember it being back in the day. Oh my god, Evo. Yeah, no kidding, Innocence. That's one of those small changes that kind of changes that star, for, in my opinion, for the better. I believe this is a new stage. I'm remembering the one I'm on correctly. I call them stage. New star might be a better word for that. You didn't wake up, that's the important part. Come on, game. Yoshi! Wait, are you stealing my Yoshi? Okay. No, please don't attack my bed. Because my bed, it's a good bed. It deserves so much better. You okay? Okay, I don't remember where this one is. The good thing we have Google. Google answered all my problems for $5.99.99.99. Yes, this is Thwomp's place. Excuse me, Thwomps, not Thwomps, my bad. Switch Star of the Fortress, unique to the DS version. Okay. Oh, I know where that is. 9 minutes, Ross? Am I close? Camera, 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 camera. Cool. I was wondering why this area was over here, because I don't remember this area being over here. Yeah, okay. 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Jesus Christ. I need to watch that. I need to make that a thing tonight. I was going to hang out with a friend of mine, but I don't think they have time for stupid old me. So, I'll have to do it without them. Behold the power! Yeah, this is kind of new too, by the way. What? Okay.
Mamma mia!
That the arc, the timing, that was just perfect, is what that was. That was perfect. I could not have done that on purpose. Just plummet. Oh, there it was, I think. Maybe? Hey. Okay, that I could have done on purpose. But at least I know where it is now. Ah, death. I get all nostalgic when I die, you know? Reminds me of the first time I died. I must have been a wee lad. In fact, can someone do me a favor? And look up when Super Mario Brothers came out on the NES in the States, specifically. Because that's a different timing than when it came out in Japan. I suppose I'll tell this story when we get there, but... First time I ever died in a video game, I actually remember the specific death. Late 85, that sounds about right. I would have been 3. Which, yeah, that's about right. More likely, though, I probably played it the next year, because we didn't play it at launch, so I was probably 4 at the time. Nice.
Let's go.
To learn more, watch the Mario 2D block when we get there. So yeah, now I guess we'll do the aquatic level. Or this one. So what do you think of this remix? Let me know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, it's a very different tone, isn't it, Inosians? No, honestly, I did not, Ross. I really didn't. I always knew StarCraft 2 was one of the best, but I didn't think it was the best. I know, Ross. That's pretty much exactly why the calculation exists, to give a game credit for retaining density across time. And I do think that boosted its score a bit. It also, admittedly, tends to be a detriment to games that are longer, that don't retain density. Exactly, Ross. Yeah, Persona 5 is actually a really, really good game. up to a certain point of the game, and then it just never stops getting worse, honestly, like the whole game. That's a long-ass game. Witcher 3 suffers pretty hard on the gameplay axis. But yeah, Witcher 3's story retains density pretty consistently. Get back here. I actually lost you. There you are. Yeah, imagine a 60-hour game that never gets boring. Not one negative to level design in the whole game, by the way.
Here we go!
After the first palace, random, without spoiling. Pretty much all the way up to and including the conclusion of the first palace is legit.
Let's go!
It's really weird to think about how small these levels actually are. You ever think about that? The ship, Ross? Without spoiling? Hey, Doralis. Now, just to clarify, do you love the original or this version? No judgment either way. Oh, that one. Yeah, I would actually agree with that. So if we went straight from the first palace to the last palace, I think that would be a tremendously good game. Like, just the final arc, you know? Eel. Eel. I guess we'll go for the intended star first. We'll stop screwing around. I would agree with Ross on that point. The new content is obvious, but Royal also changes up several things on the way there. Are they not rendering? They're not rendering, okay. Confusing me for a second. Or there's just one. Huh. I didn't remember that. Yep, nope, there's just the one. It does change spoilers. That's actually a true statement. And confirmed. You did, Doralis. That's actually what threw me a second ago. Like you, I'm a little bit more familiar with the N64 version. I've only played the DS version once. No, she's hanging out on my bed. Just chilling. probably on her phone if I were to educate a guess. As long as she's not playing Mobage, I'm okay with that. It smells like spaghetti or something. There we go. Yeah, I get that, or I guess they get that a lot, Dream Whisperer. So, if you don't mind my asking you guys, which of the 3D blocks that aren't Odyssey are you most interested in watching for the 3D block? Agreed, goofy movie. I know intellectually that good mobile games can and do exist. They're just buried in a sea of garbage. Like, the noise to signal ratio is ridiculous. I mean, I know you, Ross, and I know that you hate good gameplay, and that's okay. You know, that's okay to hate good gameplay. Yeah, the 3D Marios in those scenes. Galaxy, I believe, is the very next one we're doing. I'll have to double check that. I don't know. I mean, Sunshine... No, it should be... Galaxy? Hang on. Let me actually double check my own website. Did you know? It might actually be out of date. Let's find out. 3D Land. Why? Oh, I know why I did it that way. I know why I did it that way. So, we're not playing that next. The reason I had it set up that way is because my when we set up the block, my method of streaming DS and 3DS games was different. Now I emulate. Emulation changes that format. So, no, we're not playing 3D Land next. In fact, 3D Land is actually going to be a part of the 2D block. Because it is a 2D game in every way that matters. So, we'll put that down. Where do I want to put that? I could also put it before 3D World. It's like a weird choice, though. Fine. I'll do it before 3D World. Because I don't want to interrupt the line of the new series. New 1, new Wii, new 2, new U, Wonder. That really should be one line. So, fine. We'll do 3D Land before 3D World. So we're playing Galaxy next. Although, see, under normal circumstances, I'll be like, why don't we go ahead and do like a minimal run of Sunshine? But the problem with that is, if you know Mario Sunshine, one of the problems with the game is that there really isn't such a thing. You kind of have to beat each stage all the way through in order to just do the MSQ. That is something I actually dinged the game for.
Let's go.
Yep. That's, yeah. If it was a little bit more like, well, you know, the game we're playing right now, where you just have to get the 70 stars. Sure. Because then we could pick and choose, right? Bounce around a little bit. But some of those barriers to progression in Sunshine are teeth-pulling. We are not redoing Sunshine. I can't, well... I'm debating redoing Sunshine, but I'm leaning towards not redoing Sunshine, let's put it that way. Because it's Sunshine, and because we have a current review of it. So, you know. Well, it's funny you say that, Ross, because the reverse of that is where that was coming from. Hey, Eternus. We had some technical issues and some glitches, which slowed me down. I know this sounds strange, but I only have 22 stars. I probably should have closer to 30 or 40 right now. But I lost like a good 40 or 50 minutes to tech issues. Those have been solved, thanks to Rax and Valerian. The controls are a little rough, but I mean, that's just Mario 64, you know. So wait, what do you disagree with, Ross? Like, didn't both score really well? No, I'm like Batman. I do not operate in a vacuum. Eternus. Exactly, Eternus. I need my bridge crew. Or, to quote actually a really good movie, which I highly recommend you watch, without my crew, I'm captain of nothing. Seriously, go watch Galaxy Quest. It's a great movie. Okay, so on the, I know that the aiming to do this on the 64 version, that is to say, the N64 version. I don't know the aiming here, so we're gonna just kind of guess and be wrong, and just be as wrong as possible. We failed everything. That's perfect. Zlartek won Loke the Night Reaper because a lot of people guessed over 600, which I find fascinating because, you know, it broke a record simply for hitting the 600 marker. You know what's really sad? I think if this wasn't on the DS, or rather, if it wasn't so insistent on trying to use the stylus, I think this would be unquestionably a better version. You know? There we go. Blind jumps. But I will admit, there are several little polishing changes they've done for some of these stars, which have made some of what by memory are the most frustrating stars a lot less frustrating, like the one we just did. I usually had the hardest time with that star back on the N64 version, or the owl one from Womp's Fortress. She's down here. World is easy. I think, ironically, for probably one of the best tutorialized games ever made, I think that World is a bit too easy. There are some challenging aspects to World, but it just doesn't hold a candle to, honestly, most... Okay, I'll be up in a minute. To most 2D Marios, right? Even more modern ones. Having said that, I do think World is just a much better designed game. I guess objectively better rather than subjectively better, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna get, so since dinner is ready, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this star, and then we're gonna cut off. I'm gonna have to do some cleanup and some thinking. I don't think we're gonna replay Sunshine, but I will admit I'm debating redoing 2, 3. I haven't decided yet. It's something I'm still chewing on. Like, none of those are long games, you know? Unlike Sunshine, which would be an ordeal to redo. Those are nice and short and quick, and it might not be a bad way to recheck my thoughts and reanalyze and just make sure I'm still on the same page that I was a year or two ago whenever we did those. Yeah, exactly, Ross. You never know, the score might even change. There is a potential that the scoring, the math behind the scoring system might change soon. So that might change some scores anyways. I'm going to hold off on that till the medium dark, though. Mario 1 is probably going to be the roughest of those. Excuse me, that's not true. Obviously, Lost Levels will be the roughest of those. Because it's Lost Levels. Like, I don't know what else to add to that. You ever played Lost Levels? Because I have. That's true. That's exactly right, Blake Chaval. One of the reasons I have that kind of policy of self-examination and constantly reanalyzing my own opinion is because I need to know if I'm doing things the way I'm currently doing and that's good, then I need to know. And if I'm doing things and that it's wrong, then I need to know so I can change. No, Mario Kart's a separate block, Eternus. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. So I hope you've been enjoying Mario 64 so far. I'm going to do some stuff, have some dinner. Tomorrow we're only doing the first shift of Mario 64, or I guess that's not quite true, but we're doing kind of a weird thing tomorrow because tomorrow is BlizzCon. Exactly, Legend of All. And so we will be restreaming. Oh my god. I couldn't turn around in time. Did you know I have a website? But yes, tomorrow's BlizzCon. I will be restreaming the opening ceremony. I expect absolutely nothing from it, because there is not going to be any news of note or worth. Yeah, there will probably be Wrath Classic news, which I will not care about. There will be Warcraft Rumble news, which I will not care about. There might be a new expansion thing. That's the only thing that I might care about. And there will be Overwatch news, which I do not care about. And that is it. That's going to be it. It's supposed to be an eel, Evo. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. There's also going to be Diablo news, which I absolutely do not care about. That's going to be negative interest in that. Negative interest. Eel. You know, I'm delicious, right? This is when Evo tells me she's never eaten eel before. Even my sister's eaten eel, and she has issues with texture food. Oh my god, come on, game. Come on, this is a really... Just go! Just go! I find a lot of the jumps in this game work better if you don't try to go at it slow. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? I'll see you guys tomorrow.